So there are a lot of benefits to it. So let's talk about 3 ideas to take a break. And so I'm not calling these solutions because it's not easy for a busy mom to find time to take the break. So you need to figure out that for you, for yourself. You need to figure out those solutions. And my phone is going off. Okay. You need to figure out those solutions for yourself. So I am just going to give you some ideas. And I'm not going to say you need hours. Just take time throughout your day to find some solitude and downtime, even if it's just a few minutes, and even if that means eating breakfast in the garage. Done it. Or the pantry. Done it. Okay, so here's idea number 1. Find books you enjoy. Yes, this will always be my number 1 downtime suggestion because it is my favorite thing to do to take a break. So if I want to take a break, I am going to get, I call them dessert books. So the biggest chocolate cake book that I could find, and I am just going to sit back and relax and enjoy it. So I do read books on a lot of heavy topics, anywhere from eugenics to politics to the mafia. Yeah, all of those things. And I do enjoy reading up on these topics. But I'm not talking about those books. I'm not talking about your business books. I am talking about get your biggest chocolate cake book you can find and eat the whole thing. Or, as much as you can. Because books reduce stress. So if you need to take a break, read a good book. And I have suggestions for you. I have some books so good you'll read them twice, and a fun little coffee and book lovers tag that some moms collaborated on. So be sure to check those out if you just need some suggestions on some chocolate cake books. Take small breaks alone, even if that means you need to put a sign on the bathroom door or treat yourself to a treat in the pantry. Just find a few minutes to be alone. And sometimes I will just set my timer on my phone for 5 minutes. And that's what I get. And I will just sit in solitude and try and relax. So I do have a rule with my kids that they are not allowed to ask me questions while I'm using the bathroom. And most of the time it works. I've eaten in the pantry. I've also treated myself to a leisurely breakfast in the garage. It only lasted a few minutes, but at least I could eat without my toddler begging for my food. I think after 6 kids, that is like that's just a big irritant for me now. It's because they've all begged for my food. Even the oldest 3 don't, but the younger 3, all of them will beg for my food. And it's like, just let me eat my breakfast. I just want to eat a meal without anyone requesting to eat it with me. But it is what it is. So those are just a few ideas for you to help you take some small breaks alone. And trust me, getting that few minutes of being able to just eat my breakfast without someone begging for it was very restorative. So the small things do count here. They really do. And idea number 3 is don't overwhelm your week. I know we have so much going on, but what I mean by that is don't plan so far out that you can't easily adjust. Now, if you went through the goal series with me that I did back in November, and I will link it below, we talked about planning goals differently and planning our year and all those things. And I know I've heard so many times the advice given is to put all these milestone dates, throughout the year. So you're hitting milestones all year long. When you want to accomplish those goals, which is fine. But when you have a lot of kids and you finally get 6 months down the road and you have this milestone that you're supposed to be meeting, and you have all of this other stuff that popped up that you couldn't plan for, like your week can easily get overwhelmed. So don't plan so far out that you can't easily adjust it. And I do feel like I'm stating the obvious to the busiest people in the world, momtrepreneurs. But like I said, don't plan your year or month out so far that you can't adjust for life. You can't plan emergency room visits. I've got a video on that one too. Or how tired you will be for days after, because you have all the adrenaline, and then finally your body absorbs adrenaline and it deals with the shock, and then you're exhausted. So if your week is overwhelmed, then it will be impossible to take a break, or you're going to be so exhausted that your body is going to force you to take a break, and then you're just going to feel mom guilt because you're not getting your stuff done. Because that's what I do to myself all the time. So I know the conventional advice, like I said, is to sit down in January and plan out your whole year, but give yourself permission to zig when everyone else zags. Let them zag and you zig. And if you need more ideas on how to do that, check out the goal series. It'll be worth it. Trust me, I had a lot of fun writing it and putting it together. So be sure to check that out. We have now reached the conclusion of this show on taking a break. And whether you do this well or you need to work at it, wherever you're at, it's okay. The important thing, especially with this, is to just try. Create a habit of taking 5 minutes to just sit in solitude during the day. And then tell us how it goes. Let us know if your kids let you. Like, look, I have teenagers to toddler, so I span everything. So we go from repeating myself 50 times with the toddlers to the teenagers asking me deep questions that I'm just going, huh? Okay. So you need to take the time. And even if it's 5 minutes, just try to take that break. And definitely let me know how it goes.